In 2020, Ding Liren pulled off a very beautiful opening trap against MVL in the Magnus Carlsen Invitational tournament. It's a beautiful trap in the Slav Defense 3 Knights Variation when Black is continuing with the move bishop to f5 that has its certain rules how to punish this move bishop to f5. So I found out about this opening trap because I lost recently a game on leeches, so nothing special happened, but I was really frustrated because I thought this move has to be punished in some ways. This is not a good opening line for Black. Still, I lost the game, and then I analyzed a little bit deeper the opening theory, and then I found out how Ding Liren punished this opening sequence with a beautiful trap. So this is now our video today. Today I wanted to show you this beautiful idea from White's perspective, how to punish a passive play by Black in the Slav defense. So let's see now what's all about and what is this beautiful trap. Here Ding played with the move d4. We have the move d5 by MVL, c4, c6 the Slav, knight to f3, knight to f6, and knight to c3, the 3 Knights variation. Now Black plays this move bishop to f5, and this move is, in my opinion, a move that's simply not the best continuation. This move has to be punished around the square b7. So first what we're doing, we're playing c takes d5. Very important move. Now Black has two choices, c takes d5 or knight to d5. If knight to d5 happens, we can still play queen to b3, and after something like queen to b6, we play first the move knight to d5. After queen to b3, we have this intermediate check, and we prevent our opponent from castling. Then we pick up the queen. There are several threats here with the move bishop to f4 afterwards, and also with some tensions on the a file. I've covered already this beautiful line also in our Slav defense study, so please check it out, and I think you could have also a great preparation in this line. So now we are analyzing this line. After c takes d5, your opponent is playing maybe the move c takes d5. Now we play queen to b3, attacking both of these pawns, the pawn on d5 but also the pawn on b7. And actually the best continuation here for Black is even to retreat to c8. It's a strange idea, but believe me, this is simply the best way here for Black to go. So then of course we play something like bishop to f4, bishop to g5, e3, and the game continues. Still, of course, White should be slightly better, but nothing spectacular is going on. But now your opponent could maybe try this idea, queen to b6, and your opponent is hoping to first of all trade off the queens, simplify the game, and with the beautiful bishop's activity maybe get some kind of an idea of knight to c6, knight to b4, and then to play maybe a fork idea on c2. But now we should not be scared about this line. We play just a very important move, knight to d5. If queen to b3 happens, now we have always this intermediate check, and now after e takes f6 or g takes f6, we pick up the queen, and the a file is going to get open. So still, I think a better game for White. White will have an extra pawn, and in my opinion, this could be already game over for Black. So after move knight to d5 and knight takes d5 that Black will probably play, we play of course queen to d5, and now comes the actual idea of Black. Black wants to play the move e6, retreating again with the queen here on b3 is necessary, and now comes the dirty part. Black continues with the move knight to c6. He's hoping again with this to get the same idea, knight to b4, and then knight to c2 the fork. And there's not so much that can be done. For instance, if you play queen to b6, this is not good, because after a takes b6, I'm not seeing good ways how we're going to defend this position. Even with the move a3, look at this, knight to b4 is going to happen. So it's really already a messed up game for White. So still, you can maybe survive this attack, but this is something that I would not recommend you. So after move knight to c6, I recommend you, and that's also the line of course by Ding Liren. He played the calm move e3, allowing knight to b4, and it seems so that something is going wrong here for White. But actually now comes a very important move, queen to a4. First, this intermediate check. Your opponent will probably not play queen to c6, because with bishop to b5 the game should be over. So he probably is not going to play also knight to c6, because he played with the move knight to b4 in the first place to play at least some kind of an idea. So Black will play many times this idea, king to d8, and the problem is now that when the king is coming to d8, and this is now the very important part of the tricky idea, we have always this kind of an idea. We want to play bishop to a5, where we are trapping the queen. But now after king to d8, we play now this idea, bishop to d2. Your opponent plays now the fork with knight to c2, and now it's very important where to go with your king. King to d1 is a disaster, so don't do this. Don't do this. I lost the game like this, so that's why I'm showing you this now of this video. I came up with this position, I came to this position, and then I played king to d1. So I noticed that I could have this bishop to a5 idea, but I played king to d1, and actually I lost because of this stunner. Knight to a1, I played bishop to a5, but my opponent has this bishop to c2 intermediate check, and of course an attack against the queen. Black is winning decisive material, so this should be game over here for white. So really wild stuff. So after move knight to c2, you have to play now the Ding Liren line, not the Jozarov stupid line. You have to play king to e2. It's strange, of course, because you're getting the king in front of the bishop. Many times I would not recommend you to do this kind of a move, but now what to do? Look at this, queen to a bishop to a5 is coming. If queen to c6 happens, we'll just trade off queens, and I think this is a position that white wanted to get in the first place anyway. We wanted to trade off queens. We don't want to complicate things. Now we can play rook to c1, attacking the pawn on c6, and also the knight on c2. So in my opinion, nothing spectacular here for black. White is up in material and has now, I think, a completely winning game. So in the game, after move king to e2, MVL played queen to b2, which seems also natural because you're lining up the queen with the king, and maybe you have some tactics on the second rank. But now again, Ding kept it calm. Knight to e5, first the threat of queen to d7 checkmate. You have to play now something like b5. That's why here queen to a5 was now Ding's continuation after king to e8, queen to c7. There's simply no defense against both of this checkmate threat. So in this position, actually MVL resign. You can give up of course now with the knight to d4 also decisive material, but as I said, this is simply not working. So very important idea. So let's go really to this critical moment. After move knight to c2, you have to go with king to e2, preparing bishop to a5. Now if your opponent wants to trade off queens, if he wants to trade off further material, he should do it. It's not a problem then, because we're continuing the game with an extra pawn. Now like MVL played queen to b2, now we have this checkmate threat. Now we can include the queen into the game, and this is now a beautiful checkmate pattern here. So this is now our study. It's a short study. If you have followed maybe in my YouTube chess channel recently, I've created many now short studies about opening traps. You can also check it out. We have now about 30-40 videos about opening traps. I think it's also a cool series here on my YouTube chess channel. So we'll add also this opening trap on our opening trap studies. So okay, I hope that you enjoyed it. I really love the fact that I saw this game played by Ding and MVL. I'll not make this same mistake twice. If you want to see more traps, as I said, here's the link of our whole playlist. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon with some more videos, and what to say, chess is the best, of course.